Hello and welcome to ARIRANG News. It's Wednesday, October 19th. I'm Han-daeun in Seoul. We'll begin with Korea's largest ever nationwide earthquake drill that's just getting underway. The goal of the drill is to raise preparedness following last month's record-breaking 5.8 magnitude earthquake in the southeastern city of Gyeongju. The drill will last 20 minutes. Daycare centers, schools, government offices, and public institutions are obligated to participate in the drill by following the radio broadcast instructions. Cars and buses are required to stop where they are for 5 minutes. The city of Ulsan and Jeju-do Island, two areas hit by Typhoon Chaba in early October, are excluded from the drill. Top military officials of South Korea and the United States are set for high-level talks on strengthening their joint deterrence measures against North Korea. The foreign and defense ministers of the two allies will also meet in Washington over the next 2 days. Connie Kim is watching the meetings.
South Korea's foreign and defense ministers have kicked off their official visit to Washington by paying tribute at the Korean War Veterans Memorial. During their visit to the U.S., Foreign Minister Yoon Byung-se and Defense Minister Han Min-gu will seek response measures against North Korea's nuclear threats. A so-called 2+2 meeting will be held on Wednesday with the two South Korean ministers and their U.S. counterparts, Secretary of State John Kerry and Defense Secretary Ashton Carter. Topping the agenda are ways to bring out a strong UN Security Council resolution and formulate additional ways for Seoul and Washington to further pressure Pyongyang.
We'll focus on putting our heads together to ensure the sanctions on North Korea are the strongest they can be.
Minister Yoon and Secretary Kerry are set to hold a joint press conference following their talks. On the following day, the two defense chiefs are set to discuss Washington's extended deterrence over South Korea, under which the U.S. will mobilize all of its military assets to defend the country in a time of crisis. Having U.S. strategic assets deployed on the Korean peninsula at all times will reportedly be discussed during the defense talks. Carter hinted at such plans in the latest issue of Foreign Affairs on Tuesday. He said Washington is continuing to deploy some of its most advanced capabilities, including F-22 and F-35 stealth fighter jets and maritime patrol aircraft under the second phase of the Obama administration's rebalance to Asia. Connie Kim, ARIRANG News.
The deputy foreign ministers of South Korea and China are slated to hold talks later today on regional and global issues. Deputy Foreign Minister for Political Affairs Kim Hyung-jin will meet with his Chinese counterpart Kong Xuan-yo in Seoul this afternoon. Seoul's foreign ministry says the talks will address the current situation on the Korean peninsula. The rising tensions over Chinese vessels fishing illegally in Korean waters could also be on the agenda. The Chinese diplomat who is in Korea for a 3-day visit will also meet with Korea's Vice Foreign Minister Im Sung-nam on Thursday to further address issues of mutual concern. The 4-month-long investigation into Korea's 5th largest conglomerate Lotte Group has technically come to an end, with the results of the probe to be announced this afternoon. Prosecutors have decided to indict but not detain the group's chairman, Shin, as well as his elder brother, Dongju, and their father, Lotte Group founder, Chilgok. This comes after the court rejected the prosecution's request to arrest the group's chairman on embezzlement charges late last month. The 3 Shin family members will be charged with tax evasion, embezzlement, and breach of trust. The founder's common-law wife, Seo Mi-kyung, and his daughter, Shin Young-ja, were also previously indicted on charges of tax evasion. The probe into the group was launched back in June, with some 10 affiliates raided and about 500 of Lotte's executives and staff summoned by prosecutors either as suspects or witnesses. 1 person has been killed and 4 suffered mild injuries in an explosion at a chemical factory in Gyeongsangbuk-do province. The 46-year-old victim, identified by his surname Park, was taken to a nearby hospital but later died from his injuries. The local fire department says the blast occurred at around 9:20 a.m. Korea time at the Star Chemical Factory, located in the 3rd cluster of the Gumi National Industrial Complex. The factory shut down in 2013 13, and the 5 workers were removing raw material tanks at the time of the blast. The resulting fire has been put out, and no chemicals have leaked into the environment. China's 6th manned spacecraft, the Shenzhou 11, that blasted off Monday, has docked at the Tiangong-2 Space Lab. This makes China the 3rd country after the United States and Russia to complete docking procedures in space. According to Xinhua News Agency, the Shenzhou 11 passed over southwest China on Wednesday morning at an altitude of 393 kilometers, and the 2 Chinese astronauts on board have entered the space lab. The astronauts, Jing Haipeng and Chen Dong, will begin their month-long mission, the longest in space ever for China. During that time, they'll conduct a series of experiments aimed at advancing China's ambitions in space. And that does it for now. I'll be back with more headlines at 4 p.m. Korea time. Stay with us.